Picture this. A barefoot kid tinkering with wires in a cluttered California garage, unknowingly laying the groundwork for a tech empire that would change how we connect with the world. That's not just myth, that's the origin of Steve Jobs. Welcome to Sound of Story, where I take you through the dramatic arcs, the dazzling highs, and the messy realities behind legendary innovators. Today, Steve Jobs, the rebel visionary who insisted that computers should be as beautiful as they are powerful. Ever wonder how someone with 0 engineering degrees and a history of school suspensions became the driving force behind the iPhone and Pixar? Or what it means to see the world not as it is, but as it could be? We'll break down Jobs' journey by exploring 4 distinct acts: his formative years and family tumult, his wild ride at Apple and Next, the Pixar pivot, and finally, his triumphant and turbulent second act at Apple. Stick around. I'll unpack terms like graphical user interface. Think of it as swapping a cryptic cockpit for an intuitive dashboard in reality distortion field, which was Jobs' uncanny ability to bend perception and expectation. Ready to see how a dreamer rewrote the rules of the digital age? Let's dive in. Imagine being told you were a mistake, then growing up to make mistakes that changed the world. That's Steve Jobs' early years. In a nutshell, a child put up for adoption, a rebellious spirit in school, and a seeker of meaning far outside the mainstream. Now, you might be thinking, was he a born genius or just lucky? The truth is more complicated. Jobs struggled with authority, skipped grades, and even tried LSD in a wheat field, saying it was one of the most important things he ever did. Family dynamics were complex. He bristled at the term adoptive parents, insisting they were my parents 0%. Let me tell you a story. At 13, Jobs called Bill Hewlett for electronic parts, scoring a summer job at HP demonstrating the kind of audacity that would define him. Then came the Homebrew Computer Club, an epicenter of creativity where Jobs met Steve Wozniak. Together, they built the Blue Box, a gadget for hacking phone lines. Illegal? Sure. But it proved to them that innovation could be both fun and profitable, a foreshadowing of Apple's ethos. Jobs' early adventures were a collision of opposites: humanities and technology, Zen Buddhism, and Silicon Valley hustle. The term counterculture fits, but so does prototyping. Think of it as life itself being the ultimate beta test. What drove Jobs wasn't just invention, but reinvention of himself, his tools, and eventually, the world. Fast forward 1976. 2 Steves, Jobs, and Wozniak launch Apple in that now iconic Los Altos garage. With their Apple I and Apple II machines, they start a personal computer revolution. But what made their computers special? Think of the graphical user interface. It turned complex code into clickable icons, a bit like translating hieroglyphs into emoji. Now you might ask, why did Jobs matter? Wasn't Woz the technical wizard? Absolutely. Woz built the guts, but Jobs set the vision. He knew that design and storytelling mattered as much as wiring and chips. He demanded products that were not only functional but delightful, a rare blend of intuition and perfectionism. But genius comes at a cost. Jobs clashed with colleagues, sometimes showing a ruthless streak. Just ask the early Apple team about the infamous reality distortion field, his knack for making the impossible seem inevitable. Eventually, these tensions exploded. In 1985, after a bitter power struggle, Jobs was ousted from his own company. Talk about Act 2 drama. Instead of folding, Jobs founded NXT and bought Pixar. At NXT, he obsessed over things like the Mach kernel, the engine behind sleek software, much like a hidden gearbox in a luxury car. Meanwhile, Pixar redefined animation, giving us Toy Story and a whole new way to dream. Jobs' first Apple era was a masterclass in vision and volatility, teaching us that innovation isn't a straight line, but a zigzag between triumph and near collapse. So what happens when a prodigal founder returns? In 1997, Apple, on the verge of bankruptcy, brought Jobs back, and he led an astonishing turnaround. The iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad weren't just products. They were cultural lightning in a bottle. Jobs transformed the supply chain. Think of it as the arteries of business into a work of operational art. while the ecosystem he built meant devices spoke the same sleek language. But there's a shadow. Jobs battled cancer, often refusing traditional treatments, was that stubbornness or faith. Now imagine thinking, could I make these choices in the face of mortality? Jobs' story is one of contradictions. The man who spoke of simplicity, yet lived a life of complex relationships, unfinished reconciliations, and bold final acts. Let's land on 3 takeaways. First, the power of relentless vision. Jobs saw not just what technology was, but what it could become. Second, the fusion of art and science. He proved that intuition is as vital as logic. Third, resilience failure isn't fatal if you double down on your purpose. Here's your action step. Ask yourself, what's your dream? Where could your wildest ideas take root, even if the world thinks you're crazy? Next time on Sound of Story, we'll explore another maverick who broke all the rules. Until then, challenge the status quo, dream a little bigger, and remember, sometimes the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.